Hello. And so sorry I'm late. It's like we went to the temple and then or the timings got mixed up and then yeah.
That's all right. It looks wonderful on your head.
Oh
Let's
yeah.
check it out. Very nice. So, which temple did you go to?
There's Sai Baba. There's one like nearby, so we went there. It's nice.
It's very nice. Would you call yourself religious?
I mean, I'm religious when I'm worried about something, but otherwise I'm not really.
I love your honesty. Yes, we all are. So, there is a very nice doha on that. I'll share it sometime with you. That the crux of it, the crux of the meaning is that we all pray when we all remember the Lord Almighty when we are unhappy. And if
Yeah.
we remember the Lord Almighty when we are happy, then there would be no unhappiness.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's very beautiful. But then, yeah, we all get, carried away with life.
Yeah.
Yes. So, Amrita, I was going to ask you, what all are you interested in apart from, let's say, we are doing coding, and so what else are you interested in?
Like coding wise or outside of coding?
Both.
I like to read a lot. Love realistic fiction. I really do. Um, I like Anne of Green Gables. It's this awesome book series. You get a lot of casual misogyny in it because it was written earlier, but it's a really pretty book. There's another book. It's called A Tree Grows in Brooklyn. Oh my God, it's such a nice book. I bought it for my mom on her birthday and she didn't read it, so I read it. And it's a really good book. I like to read a lot too. Oh, and anything in during the 50s, there's a lot of like anti-war feeling in the US, right?
Mhm.
So there's this guy, his name was Jack Kerouac, and he started the Beat movement, which is basically like a bunch of artists and like basically against the entire 2.5 kid suburbs entire thing. And then there was kind of a literary movement, and there are lots of like poetry and books written on it, and it's really nice. It's really nice. They don't know how to use punctuation at all, but it's really nice. I like
Oh,
that a lot.
so I would sum it up as you would love to read some kind of historical fiction, documentary stuff, documentaries and all. Yeah, you're interested in that. That's
Mhm.
awesome, Amrita. That's very good. So why I asked you is that sometimes, we have to theme, like I have a topic to teach you. Let's say, for example, I'm teaching you lists. Now I'm going to create list of for very young kids. I'll create list for cookies and cupcakes. Yes. But then if I know that my student is interested in, let's say, as you said, historical fiction, then I'll bring books from that era for
Mhm.
the list, the like names of those books, so that you are interested. Now you
Oh
are
yeah.
involved with it. So that's why I was asking. And another reason was that we are planning to start a book club. So have you read by any chance Harry Potter series?
Oh yeah, loads of times. Yeah,
Loads of times. So do you like it?
I love it. Yeah.
Love it. Yeah, very nice. So basically, I am planning to create a book club for kids, and I have coincidentally, most of my students are avid readers. They all love Harry Potter books and movies. So I'm planning to have book clubs and also side by side, you can say simultaneously, a public speaking group.
Oh,
Maybe
cool.
based on that books a book club, and maybe like because I am an English mentor as well. I take a lot of English classes and I create a lot of content around it, create a lot of prompts around it, and I encourage my students to give presentations. Like I would like to give them presentation for them to give presentations to others, like who are new to the group and all. That also helps. Sometimes I feel that kids are told to do public speaking in setups which are very judgmental. You go to a
Mm.
debate group and then they'll judge you against other people. But what about public speaking for the sake of public speaking, as in for the sake of actually conveying some information, actually conducting something, not a contest per se, but something of that sort, where you are actually sharing your knowledge, where you're actually teaching, you are a mentor, that kind of
Oh,
thing.
cool.
So those are the things that I am planning, and I just wanted to know. Like, I'm so happy that you're interested in books. I just wanted to know what all those things are. Very nice. Okay, great, good discussion today. All right. So we were
Oh,
doing S1C4. Were you able to do some work?
Yeah, I the level one exercises, I finished them, I think. And for the emails I did something. I think that was on S1C3, I think.
Mhm.
Um I did something there. So I found out for like the .com.org, some of them and then the at symbol, but
Mhm.
I still couldn't figure out how to do it like in order. Maybe I could do a variable for an input or something like that. But
Mhm.
yeah, I did some stuff there. So and I finished. I wrote a few notes for on the document, but I couldn't think of like much to write since it was sort of like a
Mhm.
catch up on
All right,
doing
that's
it.
all right. It would be always like this. You know, you will not always find what you can say. Mm, There would be different amounts of stuff that you want to write in there. That's all right. Yeah.
Mm.
Okay. So here, let's check out the last thing. Yeah. Okay. So Amrita, there is one suggestion that I would like to make. It's like it'll take a moment, but this is your notes and takeaways document. Okay. Now,
Mm.
here's the thing. If you create it like this, then every time you want to make an entry, you'll be scrolling like anything.
Yeah.
Got it? So one solution to that is that you can actually go ahead and, let me just do it for you. I'm just going to go ahead and take this March, April 10th and 17th from here. Control
Mm-hmm.
X for now, right? Paste it over here. Control V.
Mm.
Okay. And I'm going to take this one here, Command X, and paste it over here. So these are like your previous two notes. So every time you are creating this, you'll actually enter it here. Okay.
Uh-huh.
On the top so that you'll have it in the reverse order. So I'm going to go to this one, take this one from here, take these two from here actually, and go ahead and cut it. And there we go. It's sorted for now. Yeah.
Mm.
Just one more change and it's totally sorted for now. And in future, whenever you want to add something, you add it to the top of this list. That way, you won't have to scroll down because this is something that you will do every week. For search part, of course, you can do the scrolling down, right? Because you're looking for something specific. So you can go to the previous class and then the class prior to that and everything else. But this is sorted in the reverse order right away.
Okay.
Makes sense? Yeah. Okay. So now, um, April 17th class would be C4, right? So C4, what all did we do? Let's see. Completed the homework from the previous class, the notes doc quickly. In the next session, do we do with the note doc? Okay. Now, what all did we learn? We learned from the practice exercises, and then there was a discussion about the input function. Was there or not?
The input, um, input function.
Let me open S4, S1C3 instead. Go to my Mhm. Go to your previous. So for S1C3, we had, so you
Yeah.
could post the exercises, like it's not a problem. So you can post the exercises also in your notes doc so that you'll know that, okay, these are the exercises that I do, especially the ones which have been tricky. Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so this is what I'll mention in assessment C3 in the last name with the labels. And So exercise which made us practice how to add elements programmatically to a list using append function. Yeah.
Yeah.
In so that's what we did, right? Great. Okay. So that was the main thing that we did in this area, like the exercise over here. Write a loop to accept these colors and add them to the list, and finally print the list and ask the user if they want any colors removed. So basic list operations, right? The append function, and we practiced basic loop operations, right? Sorry, list operations, loop operations. I don't know why I wrote that. Okay, yeah. So apart from that, for the previous class, the grand list of emails, you can post this exercise completely. That I wanted to, like I was working on this exercise. Because then later, if you want to see what the exercise was, you'll have the whole thing here. Oh my God. This actually made it in that thing, the title. Put it here. Yeah. Okay. So that actually is making you learn a lot, right? So also we can put a to-do over here. After this exercise, we can put a to-do. Just give me one moment, please. Okay. So you can just put a to-do over here. And that to-do is when we do functions, we will come back to this and write our own proof email, valid email is valid email function. Okay. So you just kind of reiterated that so that we will remember is valid email. Okay. Awesome. Great. I think we are good. And what else was there? Exercise 2. Then we had removing, adding colors, all right, which the color they want to remove. Okay, nice. And please enter your email ID. Okay, so then next we had this email thing, right? This exercise, right? So where are you checking for valid emails? It's an S1C3, right? Which like can you guide me to the line?
C3. S1C3.
At not in that email ID is invalid. Not an email. Okay. That email ID is invalid. Please include your domain name. Okay. Have you tested it properly? Is it printing the emails properly now?
Sort of, but like I can still write at dot com and it'll say it's the correct email address. But so it has everything.
I am very happy that you tried that. Awesome. Now you know that what your code does and you know that what it doesn't. This is very important. So most of the times, Amrita, if you want to check if a person has actually written the code himself or herself or not, I'll give you a tip. Sometimes you'll find these coding exhibitions where kids will come and say, oh, we have written this code. They won't write, we wouldn't have written it themselves. They'll copy it from somewhere. Go and ask them, what are your plans for the future updates? What are the bugs that are there in your code? And you will know if they have written it or not. Because any person who has written code will know that my code is not foolproof. Right now, I have to make these changes. These tweaks are required so that my code doesn't do this mistake. Right now, I have covered it up and I have made it nice and wrapped up, but it does have problems. So this is the way you can actually figure it out. And why am I sharing this with you? That right now you said that, this is not working. And I know that you have tested it very well. So very nice. Very good, Amrita. Very good. Okay. So for today, this was our assignment and practice exercises. Do all of them work? The practice exercises? Do you have any confusion?
Let me go over them. All of them. Wait, it is in C4, right? The practice exercises.
C4. Yes, I have C4 opened.
I'll go to C4. Okay. Yeah. For which ones did I do? Okay. So for this one, the I is equal to 42. That one. I did I is equal to 42, and I know it's supposed to be 40 to 85, but I think
Perfect.
it'd be a bit iffy because I should have done 40. I just didn't know how to make it work with the 40.
Yeah, so basically, what if this changes? What if this range changes, right? Then you have to think about it again. That what is the next multiple of 7? So basically, this code, if you want to do the extension to this exercise part, Of course, this code you can do it like this. I'll give you the solution now. So thing is that instead of doing I is equal to 42, what you can do is even 7, 42 to 85, even all the even multiples of 7, all right. Now, are you getting even multiples of 7 though? Because you are doing I plus is equal to 7, like I is equal to I plus 7. Are you getting even multiples of 7 or multiples of 7? Ooh.
Even wrote even there. Should I do like, no, not I plus. Can't do I plus 14. Oh, why am I doing I plus 14? It's stupid. Oh, print, should I do print I plus 2? Or will that be weird?
It's true. Think about it. Okay, I think you'll be able to do it later. Don't worry about it. You can do it later, Amrita. Just pay attention to what I'm saying, okay? So one thing is that you have a range. Now you don't know like how to, like basically you don't know whether the first number of that range is a multiple of 7 or not. It's a multiple of whatever number it is. It could be 7, it could be 11, it could be anything else, right? So the thing is, the trick is that what you can do is you can write a while loop to first find the multiple of 7. A separate loop to find the first multiple of 7. Once you have got that, you can increment by 7. That's one way. So what I is equal to 42 you're doing now, you can do this. We can do this programmatically. Yeah. So basically we'll just find the first multiple of 7 after 40. Yeah. Okay. So that's your hint. Finding the first multiple of 7. Like it could be 7, it could be any other number, right? It could be 7, it could be any other number programmatically. We can do this programmatically, find the first multiple of 7. All right, after the start, like range start value. Got it? Start value. 40 is your start value. So just have to figure out what is the first multiple of 7 after the start value. That's one way. That's one way. Second is to go ahead and for the even multiples, sorry, not second. The even multiples of 7, what you can do is instead of incrementing it by 7, you could increment by 14.
Oh, but if I
Yeah.
can't do that. I should have done that, right? I was thinking, oh, I could divide it. Yeah.
You can just do I is equal to I plus 14, and that will ensure that there are even multiples of 7, right? And in case if you're thinking that, okay, what if it's not 7, then you can always say whatever the number is. Let's say n is the number of which you want to find the multiple. That could be m multiplied by 2. I is equal to I plus m multiplied by 2. So you can always increment it like that. That's one. To get the even multiples, right? And now to decrease the number of iterations. So once that you have already figured it out, that we can increment it by that value by finding the first multiple. For finding the first multiple, you can do it programmatically. So that will happen. There are multiple approaches to reach this kind of to reach out to solve this problem. There can be multiple ways. This is just one of the ways. There can be other ways also. For example, you can just go ahead and figure out what the range is, and then you can just make sure that your I is something like I multiplied by, let's say, you figure out how big your I should be to multiply it by 7 to reach there. Like I should be 6, 7, 6 is 42. That is the first number. So 6, and then you can continue to multiply by I 6 and then 8 and then everything else to get the even multiple, right? So that can also happen. But for that, you have to first check, of course, that whether the 7, the value that for which you want to find out the multiples, whether it is odd or even. If it's odd,
Yeah.
then you have even numbers. Otherwise, everything will be an even multiple. If we were talking about
Uh-huh.
8, then everything will be an even multiple because 8 itself is an even number. Yeah. There are multiple
Yeah.
ways of solving such problems. Yeah. So good job with this also. Very good job. That's it. Is there something else that you need my help with, or you tested it and it did not work, or something like that?
Let me see.
And were you able to write for loops for all these as well? Because for the practice exercises, you had to write the while loops and then for loops.
Oh, I wrote that. Let's see, did I write? Oh, I wrote. Oh, shoot. Okay, just for the even 7, that one I wrote a while loop. Like I can write a for loop now. Oh,
No
or for
problem.
homework, should I
Are
write
you
a?
confident? Are you confident with the conversions now? For loop, while loop, for loop, while loop. You're good. Yeah.
Yeah,
You understand that. That's the most important thing. Okay. Now for the next part, there are like practice level 2 exercises as well, which I'll add as your homework for next time. We're not going to spend time for that in class. So what was the concept that we were working on? Okay, so now email address thingy. You fine with that also? Do you need my okay? But we discussed the positional thing, now that the index count of that thing should be less than that. You did not understand that part?
I kind of got it, but I didn't know how to implement it in that because I got like it should come afterwards and all of that. I just didn't know how to. Yeah, yeah, with
Okay. So
quality.
let's create a new REPL for today. We are gonna discuss a few more like there is a split function also that I wanted to discuss with you. So let's go ahead and create a new REPL for today. And in that, we will work with email IDs today.
All right. So S1C5.
Yeah.
Yep, I think I.
Hmm. Invite me to the REPL.
Yeah, I did.
You did? Okay. See. So these are some random emails that we have. Right? Valid email IDs that we have. Example.com, example.net, gmail.com, hotmail.com, some random email IDs that we've got over here. Okay. Now, what if I were to say that I want to figure out, like I want to ensure that these email IDs are valid? You can see that for each of those email IDs, at comes before dot. Now we want to check that particular condition that for each of those email IDs, whether that is happening or not. Now, deliberately, I'm going to add an email which is not valid. Say, for example, it contains at. So I'm going to add, let's say, Amrita. And I'm going to say Amrita at no, dot net at Gmail. So basically, dot is there, at is there, but they're not in the proper order. So we would like for our code, whatever code we will write, to print false for this particular email. For that particular condition. So what can we do? We can have, let's say, first of all, for email in valid email list. That's how we will traverse through that list. Yes.
Yeah.
Are you comfortable sharing your screen, or shall I share my screen?
I can share my screen. Yeah.
Yeah, because you will also be looking at your screen, so it's better if you share your screen. Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome. Yeah. So now if email, let's say we want to check out for the position of at. Yeah, we're going to check out the position for at. That's it. So what will I do? I'll say print email dot index. What will happen if I do that? Let's run this and see what will happen if I do that.
It'll say the number at which position. I'm not sure.
8, 10. And the first let's analyze that first email. john.doe@example.com. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then at 8th position, at is there, right? It is displaying the position for that. How about if I were to display the position of dot? There will be 2 positions of dots, right? Because some people are using that position of dot as well, isn't it? No.
Yeah.
Beg your pardon?
No, I didn't say anything.
So some people are using a dot in their email names as well. You can see that, right? There are 2 dots in line number 18, as you can see. There are 2 dots, right? If there was just a single dot that was allowed, then it was fine. But then typically in email IDs, Anusha.Jain, Amrita dot something, the dot is allowed in the username as well. So how do we deal with that? So basically what we want is that after we have found at, we should find a dot also.
So let's see. Can we like each dot, can it be like a specific? Nah, it won't work, right? If we just write like if say email in dot index at is like, I don't know, if that's greater than the email dot index of
And then you want the
dot.
last dot's position.
How do you separate the last dot from the?
So now I'll give you a few functions, and I want you to be thinking on this. Of course, I can give you the solution right away, but that would not be fun. Yeah. So I'm going to give you some function so that you can just get it. They can get you thinking. But I just created this list, and I just had this positions printed. So it will have your thinking juices flowing. Okay. So the first function that we are going to discuss today is going to be split. Oh, of course, I'm not going to give you direct correlation between this function and how you can do it, how you can apply the function to your course. Do you know about split function, first of all?
Not really, no.
Okay. So split function is very interesting in Python. What happens is that, let's say if we have taken some input from the user right now, remember you took some colors programmatically from the user. We said enter color 1, the user entered the color 1, enter color 2, the user entered the color 2. Now you want to just go ahead and check if the user has entered, let's say, the first 3 colors of the rainbow separated by spaces. Let's say we want to write a function, or not a function, write code to take a line of input from the user containing 3 colors from the rainbow. 3 colors from the rainbow. You have to, what do you have to do after that? You have to tell the user, if these colors are from like our valid rainbow colors or not. Okay.
Mm.
That's the first exercise. Now I'm going to do this exercise. Okay. So
Mhm.
we are going to take the input. How do we take the input? We're going to say colors is equal to input, and input, enter 3 colors from the rainbow. Now I'm going to just put an instruction over there. What is the instruction? Separated by spaces.
Mhm.
Also, just to make our life simpler, like we should be thinking of making the user's life simpler. But right now, since we are learning, we are trying to make our life simpler, separated by spaces and um, in lowercase. Because we don't want to be worried about the case right now, whether it's capital or smaller. In lowercase, the user has to enter the colors in the lowercase. Now, what do? I say colors. Now we have got the input now. So we say colors list is equal to colors dot split. And I'm just gonna print those colors for now, for the moment. Colors dot
Mhm.
split. So let's see what the split function does. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to comment out the code that we have written previously, because right now we want to focus on the split function. And let's take this split function code to the top of our REPL. Yeah, that valid email is, and that discussion is like now in the pipeline. It's now in the pipeline. We will discuss it later. So we are focusing on the split function now. Now let me run this, and I'll be entering 3 colors, and I'll be the good user and actually enter the colors from the rainbow for now. So violet, and I'm going to enter pink. No, pink is not the color of the rainbow. Color of the rainbow. Violet, orange, and indigo. All right, those are 3 valid colors. And let's see what happens there. I've got a list. My split function actually took my input string,
Mhm.
separated on the basis of spaces, and gave
Mhm.
me violet, orange, indigo in a list. Nice and separated. Wow, nice, right?
Can you do the same thing for like for not spaces? Like if there's a specific character.
Yes, yes. You have all the hallmarks of a true coder, huh? Your mind is jumping 4 spaces ahead of what I'm telling you. Very good. Yes, you can do that, and that is how you will be doing your exercise later. Okay, you can do that. So on the shell, I'm going to show you a few things now, some fun stuff, because to write all that code again and again, instead of that, we're going to use a shell, and we should be comfortable using the Python shell as well. That is also a reason. Whenever we want to go do some quick and dirty work, not dirty exactly, but some quick work, then you can actually use the shell. Okay, so how can I use it? I can say the list is equal to, let's say, for example, this not list, string is equal to, and I'm going to write over here, Amrita, sorry, Amrita, and your mom's name, Rekha, and all those are separated by a pipe character. Do you have a sibling, my dear?
I have a cousin sister. Her name is Meena, Meena.
And E. Put that over there. And yeah, so let me put some names from my family in there now. Anusha. While we are at it. So Anusha, and my daughter's name is Navyusha. So I'm going to put that over there. My son's name is Janush. Okay. And that's it. We are good. We're good. So this is our string. This is a string that contains names separated by a pipe character. So how can I split it? You can say string dot split and put the pipe character in there. That's an optional parameter. So when I do that, I get this.
Ah.
Okay, when I do that, I get this. But we have to be careful. So by default, that is a space.
Mhm.
So what will be the basis of the splitting? By default, it's a space. If I
Mm.
want to use another character, I have to make sure that there are no spaces now. Otherwise, what will happen? So let's say I had name string as now some enthusiastic user said that, okay, I'm going to put Amrita's name and her mom's name. And because I want it to be nice and separated nicely, and I'm just putting spaces over there, okay? So he has also put some spaces over there in that. Now, if I do the same thing, name string dot split, I'm not going to get the result the way I expected it, because there are spaces. So the spaces will also be a part of the string.
Mm.
You can see that, right? There are ways to address that also, but I just wanted to point it out that when you are using the split function on its own without any other decorations, then it will be always should be like the strings should be close knit together, just separated by those spaces. Are we good?
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. All right. So let me just copy that stuff and put it over here. So the by default, the split function splits the string using spaces as a delimiter. Yeah. If you want to specify another delimiter, so put that over here. Like this, all this should go to your notes, okay? If
Hmm.
you want to specify another delimiter, you can do so by passing the delimiter as an argument to the split function. So that argument is optional. My son is so excited because AI did my job of completing that, completing those notes that I was creating for you. He's like,
I did not know that AI was so advanced.
yeah, Replit AI is very advanced these days. It completes the notes and I have to be very careful. Now I cannot share my screen because if I write a exercise and if I press enter, Replit does that code for me. And I
It
also
did
have
it to
to
me
tell,
too.
yeah, then I have to tell my students, and I have to tell my students too, because you are learning. If Replit does a code for you, then how will you learn? So I tell them that, you go to this portion over here, this particular portion over here, AI, and then you go ahead and say, I don't want AI to be enabled. So you just
Mm.
click over here so that the AI is not enabled. Because if it's enabled, then you won't be able to learn, right?
Yeah,
When
it's getting
you try
creepy too.
yeah, and it
And
sometimes makes mistakes and it confuses you what just happened because I am just writing notes. This is fine because the split function definition is proper and prim and everything, and it's present over there on the internet. So Replit will just pull it and post it over there, which is fine. So it just
Mhm.
saves me some time. I don't have to type it completely. So yeah, I am grateful for sure. But then yeah, see, if you do code with this, then it can do some stuff which you don't even want it to do, correct? Okay, so there we go. If you want to specify another delimiter, you can do so by passing the delimiter as an argument to the delimit function. So by default, that delimiter is, these are called default functions. So now another to do some other time when we will be doing functions, we need to understand how do default parameters work in functions. When we'll do functions later, then we will be focusing on that. How do default
Mhm.
parameters work? To do for later, not for now, for later. So yes. And from time to time, go and check our to-dos in our notes document so that we are sure that we don't miss out on a concept. And we can always,
Yeah.
yeah, we can tick mark it or remove the to-do. Okay, now this is done. It's done, right? All right. I think we had good stuff today, huh?
Yeah.
So split is good. There is another counter of it, which is called join, but we will do that later. I don't want to confuse you right away. But now you know how to split a string on the basis of a certain character. Think if you can. How can you figure out? There are a lot of ways of doing it. Again, of finding out if there are if the email ID is valid, if there is a dot after the @ symbol or not. Hmm? There are a lot of ways of doing it, but let's see what you can come up with. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Bye bye.
All right.
Next
Bye.
class.
Have a nice day.
Thank you.